Welcome to the Illuminated Path, where I give you a Thursday to Thursday reading. Did you know that there's a joy distribution system somewhere out in the spiritual cosmos? Yeah, I saw it in a little vision this morning. To me, in my vision, it looked like a bunch of little squirrels running around with little acorns of joy, and when they were tapped into, they would run down the branches and drop the acorns, and you would get this acorn of joy to ingest. What does that mean? It means that this is a life hack to joy, okay? When you are able to tap in to that joy distribution system, amazing things begin to happen. We want to start with understanding where in your body this begins, this joy distribution system begins. It's not going to be your upper chakras. You might think it is, but you'd be wrong. Your throat and your third eye. It's all about truth. And this makes the emotion in those spaces very neutral. When you're tapping into truth, it's about seeing clearly, not about being happy. Even the crown is where you touch into knowledge and wisdom and spirituality. And so tapping into your upper chakras can give you that elevated feeling, but it's not the joy, happiness feeling that us as humans seem to chase around like squirrels. It's going to happen in the middle chakras, the heart space and the solar plexus. The lower chakras, those are all foundational spaces. They're very emotional spaces, but there's a lot of emotion there. When we get to the solar plexus in the heart space, we're focusing on self-confidence, self-respect, connections, love for ourselves and love for other people. This is that agape love. And when we're in that space, this is the place where we can hack into all of the joy that's up there. Maybe you've heard the gratefulness exercises, and that's the single best way to raise your vibration. That's true to a certain extent, because that puts you immediately into your heart space. And when you're in that heart space, you're able to connect in to the flowing joy around you. And that's not all there is to it. When you're in that heart space, when you are realizing that you're okay with yourself and with all of the people around you in an agape love kind of way, this is what really opens you to those acorns of joy. Have you ever noticed that when you get sick, like sick, like have a fever, that you've finally just stopped railing against being sick? You reach a moment where you just give up, relax, and let yourself rest. And in that moment, even though your body feels horrible, there is a single moment of euphoria where you feel relieved to get to just rest. You feel that everything's okay. You don't care about what other people are doing. You don't care about work anymore. You don't care about what's going on. You are just present with yourself where you are, how you are. This is how the universal joy distribution system works, because joy does not meet us at the peak of our need and desire. It meets us in our depth of surrender. When we're still fighting internally, trying to figure everything out and get all of the things that we need, and we're scrambling around, that's not when joy drops in. Joy drops in when we, despite anything going on around us, can say, I really am okay. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with myself. I'm okay with how I look. I'm okay with my family. I just want everyone to be happy. I'm okay with everything going on. I don't have to control it. I don't have to fight against it. And in that moment, little acorns of joy are being dropped down on you. Ah, it's so magical. Even this morning, I was like, it's really cold outside. I don't really want to go out in the woods because everything's foggy and wet. And I was driving to this spot and I was like, whatever. I reached that little euphoric moment where I was like, it doesn't matter. I could sit down in a freezing cold puddle right now and everything would just be okay. And then I saw this spot. The sun was shining directly on it. And I sat here, and don't you know, the first thing I found is this huge feather. It's an old feather, but it is a huge old hawk feather. Very big from shoulder to shoulder-ish, as you can see. And so this was my sign, my synchronicity. Okay, I'm listening. When I surrender, when I just allow, I can have moments of joy. And when I get little feathers and signs and synchronicities like that, that gives me joy as well. So the 2 cards I pulled for you today out of the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck were the Spiral and Cone. I really like Cone. Yep. So the Spiral, in this particular reading, with the messages being downloaded, reminds me of that heart space and how there's really no beginning and no end to anything. We're just here to experience, to love, to soak it all up, to just be okay. This is your life. What are you gonna do? Fight against it your entire life until you die? Or are you gonna soak it up, hack into joy, and live a little bit? And then the corn, the corn represents abundance. It represents food always being taken care of. So on some levels, this is security and safety, while on other levels, this is that overflow of abundance of resources, abundance of joy, because the corn is yellow. So this is your solar plexus space. When I am really okay with me and myself and who I am, I become abundant. There's nothing that can hold me back. Can you imagine the things you could accomplish if nothing held you back, if you never doubted yourself, if you never worried about what other people thought, if you never second guessed what you're doing and where you're going? What could you have accomplished by now? So from this moment forward, I want you to sit in that space of abundant self-confidence, abundant self-acceptance, abundant self-love and self-respect. And I want you to go into that spiral of just agape love and everything being okay, and hack into joy.